People, welcome back to Global Happenings. They will not stop giving you full update on what is happening in the political atmosphere of Nigeria, being that we are preparing seriously for 2023. Today is not going to be like other times where we'll just sit back at home and we can predict who will win an election. This time around, the competition is tough. At least there's a third force who have broken even into the political space of Nigeria. But then today we were looking at a particular statement made by one of Nigeria's socialists, a popular Nigerian singer, television presenter, and one of Nigeria's controversial entertainer, talking about Charles Obuta, popularly known as Charlie Boy. Charlie Boy has taken a stand on the issue of Fulani Hausa must support you before you win election. Now, how true is this? My colleague is here. We're going to be looking at this. But first of all, let me give you full details of what Charlie Boy said about it. And according to the news, a popular Nigerian singer, television presenter, and Nigerian controversial entertainer Charles Chukwuemeka Abuta, popularly known as Charlie Boy, said that he always get angry and upset when people say no one can win the elections without Hausa or Fulani. It is no doubt that the northern region of the country has a good population that is significant in an election outcome, which makes it a plus for every politician, especially presidential candidates, to have their support, since politics is a game of numbers and addition. However, Charlie Boy made the statement in a tweet released on his verified Twitter page when he disclosed how he usually feels when people have the mindset or opinion that without the North or Fulani support, no one can win the presidential election, and then asks, who says so? Let me read exactly what he wrote. He said, I really get upset when some people who I believe should know better would say no one can win this election without Northern stroke Fulani support. I beg you, shift nonsense, says who? What makes them think the Fulani man will not lose this time around? Let me repeat. Those were the words that he said, and it has attracted a lot of reaction. My colleague is in the house here. We just want to look at this because it has also bothered my mind, about it. Fulani, if they don't vote for you, there is no way you can win an election. Let's look at it. How do you think this applies to Nigerian situation? Do you think that Charlie Boy is right, or do you think that he is just being so ignical, in his words?
But let's be realistic here. Let's not be emotional. I could still remember President Muhammadu Buhari, where he tried taking all the votes in the north. Severally, he tried. He didn't win
Yeah.
until there was some sort of collab between him and Bola Ahmed Tinubu, where they now collaborate to see how they can get the West, Southwest,
Yeah.
to give him the maximum vote,
Yeah.
and that was a way he was able to, pull through. The constitution have made it such a way that whatever vote you're going to get at least 25% from the other region should count.
Okay.
So which means whatever, even if you have the numbers, you still will need some level of percentage, at least 25% of it from another region. But let's look at this critically. If the Fulanis do not vote for a southerner, does it mean that that southerner cannot emerge? I think it's still possible. Don't forget, Fulanis are not the only they're not the only ethnic group in Nigeria, especially the one in the ethnic groups in the northern part of Nigeria. We have Hausa, we have the Fulanis, and we have the Nupe. Okay, and that those three groups, if you can marry one, and this is just the major ones really in the northern part of Nigeria, but we still have others that are smaller, but they still count. We have the Zulawa, we have the Jarawa, Kanuri, Butawa, we have the Savawa, we have the Kakere. They're there, but they're not much. They're minority.
Okay.
But I feel that if you can get those minority in all their numbers, get the houses, okay, and with a bit of, all you just need is 25%. If amongst the Fulani, you could still get a few bits here and there, and you pull through. Make sure your region are massively behind you.
Okay, but now let's look at the situation on ground, because if you've been on the news, you will hear that the person of Atiku Abubakar has decided to forget about the PDP crisis, which revolves around Wike demanding for a change. in the national leadership and all of that. Tiku Abubakar said he's no more interested in it. Yeah, and with what he has said, most people believe that he realizes he has gotten adequate support from the North. With what Charlie Boy has said, do you think that the North can give him what he wants right now?
Well, we already started the ethnic profiling already. Some of the PDP, APC members are beginning to port to APC. So definitely we're going to see massive move in that aspect. But I believe that he's already counted of some of his loyalists to give him a bit of Rivers, a bit of southeast, a bit of southwest, and don't forget he has started making some moves here and there, making promissory notes for some of these our elite politicians. That if I win, you're going to be this, you're going to be that, you're looking into that. So some of them who feel that they don't have the political will to contest have decided to push their people in their regions to vote for PDP, to vote for Atiku, the one unifier, because of that selfish gain, really. So all he needs is the massive support from the north and pickets here and there, 25% from the whole of the south, and it's going to take the day.
But with the third force talking about the personality as Peter Obi and Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I really doubt if Atiku Abubakar will be able to secure, because right now one of the things that are very most discussed is the fact that a Fulani man just left or is about to leave, and a Fulani man coming in. It doesn't spell justice. It doesn't spell equity. It doesn't spell inclusivity. What it spells is they are the only one. They are a huge majority that cannot be avoided. Now, what do you think the South will do with what Charles Ogbutta has said? Do you think the South will still allow him to capture the 25%?
One thing I have discovered over the years in Nigerian politics, especially the southern Nigerian politics, that we are not united. The divide and rule has always been the weapon that the northern politicians always use against the southern part of Nigeria. Watch how southwest and southeast will begin to align themselves, insert themselves until the north will unite and take the day. Now, if you watch some people who also let the whole South vote for just one person. No, they would rather divide it amongst the person of Bola Ahmed Tinubu or Peter Obi. By dividing the South region between Peter Obi and Asiwaju, now the person of Tinubu, the person of Atiku Abubakar takes the whole of the number virtue of region. He has already said it. Don't vote for Yoruba, don't vote for Igbo, vote for me, your brother, the northerner.
But don't also forget that this man of NNPP is
Kwangwaso's hold is strictly state-based.
Okay, which state?
I think that should be Kano, which is the biggest.
Yeah.
If you check him, if you go more towards the south, doesn't have strong base. Even his running mate, one bishop, does not have political will. So he's always majorly in Kano. Just like you're saying, because Wike is strong in rivers, you now say Wike holds the whole of the south, and that's not true.
Okay.
You may have stronghold in some part of southern states, south states, but not all the south. So that's the same stronghold that Kongwaso has. He has very stronghold in Kano. You can't take it away from him. But if you push down to maybe Jigawa, Nasarawa, his holds begin to diminish.
Okay. All right. Now you've heard opinion of my colleague. Let's go to our conversation and talk about this issue. Do you stand with Charles Ogbutta talking about Charly area father, the president of frustrated Nigerians? Do you think that his